They say the sky over Britain still remembers the shadows that once darkened it. Before you scroll, listen closely. Because in the summer of 1940, the world came within seconds of collapsing. A storm of steel was coming. A nation stood alone, and Hitler believed Britain would fall in weeks. But something happened in the clouds, something that left Japan stunned, Germany furious, and changed the destiny of World War II. If you love dark, hidden WW2 stories like this, hit subscribe right now. Because what you're about to hear is the tale of a battle fought in the air, where the fate of humanity hung by a thread.
1940. France had fallen. Europe trembled beneath the boots of the Reich. Only one lonely island nation remained, Britain. Hitler expected them to sue for peace. He even waited, quietly. But Britain refused. So he unleashed Luftwaffe, the mightiest air force the world had ever seen. Thousands of bombers, thousands of fighters, a sky-sized hammer meant to crush a stubborn opponent. Yet what the Germans didn't know was that Britain had a secret advantage waiting in the mist.
It began with a whisper, a faint beep in a dark room, a signal no one else on Earth could hear. Radar. A technology dismissed by Germany, but perfected by Britain. Before German bombers even crossed the French coast, British operators already knew their numbers, altitude, direction. And they launched Hurricanes and Spitfires like ghosts rising from the fields. To the Germans, it felt supernatural. Their surprise attacks were no longer surprises. Something was hunting them from the fog.
As the Luftwaffe crossed the channel, British pilots scrambled. Engines roared like angry dragons. Wings cut the sky at impossible angles. The dogfights were brutal. Spitfires spiraling like silver arrows. Messerschmitts screaming downward like falling comets. Planes collided, burned, vanished into the sea. The sky became an arena of fire. But Britain had one thing Germany underestimated: home. British pilots were fighting above their own soil. Shot down pilots returned to battle. German pilots did not.
Then came Adlertag, Eagle Day, Hitler's grand strike. The day Germany planned to erase the RAF from existence. Hundreds of bombers surged across the channel like an iron tide. Britain's airfields were hammered. Explosions painted the landscape red. For a moment, for a terrifying moment, it looked like the RAF might truly break. Winston Churchill braced for the worst. Every minute felt like the world's final heartbeat.
But Germany made a mistake. A mistake so catastrophic, it rewrote the future. A single British bombing raid hit Berlin. Small, symbolic, but humiliating. Hitler exploded with rage. He ordered the Luftwaffe to stop targeting RAF airfields and instead bomb British cities. It was meant to crush morale. Instead, it saved Britain. Because with the pressure lifted from their airfields, the RAF rebuilt, regrouped, and returned fiercer than ever.
Night after night, London burned. They called it the Blitz. Firestorms swallowed entire streets. The darkness glowed red. But Britain did not break. Children slept in underground tunnels. Families sang in bomb shelters. A whole nation refused to kneel. The world watched in awe. And something began to shift. For the first time, Hitler looked mortal.
By September, the Luftwaffe was bleeding. Pilots exhausted. Planes destroyed faster than they could be replaced. Morale shattering. Then came the turning point. September 15th, 1940. The day the Germans launched their biggest daylight assault yet. But Britain was ready. Radar lit up like a Christmas tree. Controllers scrambled every squadron available. The RAF met the Luftwaffe in a sky-shattering clash that shook Europe. When the smoke cleared, Germany had lost so many aircraft that invasion became impossible.
Hitler postponed the invasion of Britain. Days passed, then weeks, then it was quietly canceled. And in that silence, the world changed. Japan watched Britain survive against impossible odds. They realized Germany wasn't invincible. They hesitated, recalculated, and began turning their gaze toward the Pacific instead. The domino effect had begun.
For Britain, victory came at a terrible cost. Cities ruined, tens of thousands dead. But the country still stood. Hitler had expected Britain to fall like France. Instead, they became a symbol, a beacon of resistance. Across the Atlantic, America watched closely. If Britain had fallen, the US would have faced the Axis alone. But now, they saw a partner worth supporting. The arsenal of democracy awakened. German high command was stunned. How could the Luftwaffe, the fearsome fist of the Reich, be defeated by a smaller, isolated nation? But the answer was simple. Radar, home field advantage, a miscalculation by Hitler, and the unbreakable will of a people who refused to die quietly. The Battle of Britain was more than an air campaign. It was the moment the Axis war machine first cracked.
Without the Battle of Britain, there would have been no D-Day, no Western Front, no American foothold in Europe. Germany would have dominated the continent and turned its full attention to the USSR without fear of a two-front war. The world we know today would not exist. This single battle reshaped the map of humanity.
And yet, it was fought by ordinary young men. Farm boys, clerks, mechanics, pilots barely out of school. Churchill called them the few. The few who held the line, who protected a nation and bought the world time. Their victory echoed far beyond Britain, into America, into Russia, into Asia, into the decision-making rooms of Japan.
Japan, observing Britain's survival, realized something dangerous. The Allies could not be crushed quickly. A prolonged war was inevitable. So Japan rushed to seize resources in Southeast Asia, which meant confronting the US Navy. The battle in the skies over Europe had triggered a chain reaction across the oceans. The Battle of Britain didn't just save Britain. It set the stage for Pearl Harbor, Midway, and the entire Pacific War. By the time Hitler turned east and invaded the Soviet Union, the Luftwaffe was already weakened. Thousands of lost pilots could not be replaced. The Battle of Britain haunted Germany. It lingered like a ghost at every front, a reminder that the Reich could bleed. And bleed it did.
Years later, German generals would admit it plainly. We lost the war in 1940. Not in Stalingrad, not in Normandy, not in Berlin, but in the skies above Britain, when a small island dared to challenge an empire and survived. The world never forgot. Years later, German generals would admit it plainly. We lost the war in 1940. Not in Stalingrad, not in Normandy, not in Berlin, but in the skies above Britain, when a small island dared to challenge an empire and survived. The world never forgot.
And tonight, as you listen to this story, the echoes of those battles drift through time. The roar of engines, the crack of machine guns, the flames over London. The stubborn heartbeat of a nation. The Battle of Britain was not just a fight for territory. It was a fight for the future, a future we are still living in.
This is why the Battle of Britain changed the entire war, and why the world as we know it exists today. If you want more dark, powerful, hidden WW2 stories like this, subscribe for more. History has many ghosts, and we have many more to uncover. If you want more of dark history videos like this, subscribe.